Tonight, our I-Team is investigating foreclosed homes. Buying them, of course, can be a great real estate deal. But tonight, our I-Team is finding that you could be at risk of losing that home if there are mistakes in court documents. Consumer investigator Jason Knowles is here to tell us how this can happen. Jason?
Alan, it's known as unwinding when a foreclosure is essentially being reversed because of a problem in documents. It's all based on laws designed to protect homeowners under foreclosure. But what if you bought that foreclosed home? Could you lose it?
My daughter took her first steps just behind where we are.
Maria Post was in complete disbelief when she was served with court papers informing her that she could lose her home in Glen Ellen.
It was just scary. My first thought is, are we going to get kicked out of our house and lose it?
Post and her family purchased a foreclosed home. But 5 years later, the previous homeowner was trying to unwind or reverse the foreclosure, saying he was not properly notified or served. In some unwind cases, a foreclosure summons may not properly list every person on the title of the home or the loan.
Technically, every single defendant, even if there's 100 of them, need to be listed in this small caption up here. What a lot of firms were doing in the foreclosure process was, rather than trying to squeeze all those names here, attaching a page to the end of the summons that listed all the named defendants.
Post's attorney and other attorneys who represent new homeowners like her say in recent years they've defended dozens of unwind cases. Many times the former homeowners end up with a settlement from the bank.
The goal of that proceeding is not necessarily to get the property back, but to obtain a cash payment from either the current homeowner or the lender that previously foreclosed on the property.
Most of that unwinding, attorneys say, is currently happening on foreclosures which occurred years ago.
We're not sure if somebody's combing through the court files to find these, or if it's a network of contacts that somebody was foreclosed, they inquire further. It's a word of mouth type of situation.
Luckily for most of the new homeowners like Post, attorney fees are covered under title insurance. Now, a state Senate bill awaiting the governor's signature would stop most unwinding by not allowing many of those errors to be grounds to unwind. However, there are more than 250 opponents of the bill, including advocates for struggling homeowners. So you're saying that this new law can make it easier for the banks to foreclose on people?
Absolutely. And it's for the simple reason that they no longer need to provide a perfect summons.
And other critics blame the banks for the current unwinding issue.
It occurred because there was a massive foreclosure crisis and the banks got sloppy. The standard for what needs to be in a summons is that all defendants need to be named.
The group Chicago Volunteer Legal Services says the problem may only be limited to some counties, where summons forms may have less space to list every defendant on the first page. But even with that challenge,
this is really the bank's fault and title insurance company's fault for not being clear about naming all the defendants in the summons in those earlier cases.
Post's unwind case was eventually dismissed, but she doesn't want other families to worry about losing their dream home. And you thought for a moment you could lose it?
Yeah, it was scary, and we're really happy that we're still here and that it all worked out.
If you get a notice in the mail saying someone is trying to reclaim your home, you should call your title insurance company immediately. The current laws which can unwind a foreclosure may be putting those new homeowners under emotional stress, as you saw, but housing advocates say that the current laws are in the best interest for anyone who might be under foreclosure, because sometimes the banks may not give them a fair shot.
Two sides to that, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a complicated one.
It's like a technicality that could just take away your dream, like she said.
Right.
Wow. Thanks so much, Jason.